These wood elves and their forest spirits. How close are they strange?
It is good to see you, my friend. Greenshade is far more exciting place than Raz expected. He hears now that the Staff of Magnus has been stolen, as if these rebellious Bosmer were not trouble enough. Not yet, but it is possible. The elves in this part of the Valenwood do not follow King Camoran. They claim to be subjects of the Wilderking, some forest spirit no one has ever seen. They mock the Dominion and call Queen Irene an enemy. We do not know. The Battle Reeves sent a soldier, Hazazi, to negotiate with the Bramblebreach clan, but he has made no progress. Now Raz needs to hunt for the Staff of Magnus, so he asks you, will you find Hazazi and sort this out? The Bramblebreach village is just south of Marbrook. Hazazi is there. He likes to complain, but he's a good soldier. He just needs someone with a more sophisticated negotiation style. And by the time you get back, Raz will have a lead on the staff. This one does not understand Bosmer clan politics, but as Raz hears it, the clans of this part of Valenwood have always been wild. Some even sided against King Camoran in the Blacksap Rebellion. Greenshade is the heart of Valenwood. It is very dangerous and very mysterious, and these Bosmer understand it like no others do. Raz would not be deterred, but even Camoran's Vindusk Rangers avoid traveling in this part of the forest. The obvious answer is probably the right one. Peladil. That toad fulfilled Naemon's every wish. Why should that change just because the prince is dead? Raz knew the Veiled Heritance was a disease not so easily excised. If Peladil has taken the staff, we need to find him and discover what he plans to do with it. The staff is powerful and dangerous. All of the Dominion is at risk if we cannot find it. As always, Raz serves the Queen. She wanted to know if the Bosmer here are as scary as they sound. With the Staff of Magnus stolen, though, Raz must make that his priority. This one knows you can handle the Bramble Breach as well as he could.
Dark moons. These crazy Bosmer make no sense. Hazazi comes to negotiate on behalf of Queen Irene, to hear their grievances, and all they do is dance and jest. Hazazi has only been here a short while, and already he hates this village. What negotiations? These dungy elves don't want talk. They say they only answer to the Wilderking. Who is this? Who knows? They'd rather pull Hazazi's tail than give him a straight answer. It's not fair. Hazazi always gets the worst assignments. Hazazi likes this idea. If you can just get the Bramble Breach to make sense, this one will be impressed. Hazazi thinks it's a wild guar chase, but if you want to try, speak with their tree thane. May you have better luck than Hazazi.
Another tourist? Rare to have so many visitors in this part of the Valenwood, didn't you hear? It's much safer behind the shiny new walls of Marbrook. Even King Camoran hesitates to venture into the court of the Wilderking. Negotiate? About what? Oh, I know. You want us to bow to your queen and swear allegiance to your what's-it's-called? Aldmeri Dominion. Huh. Problem is that our allegiance is to the Wilderking, and he doesn't seem to care for your Dominion. Ha! Sure. Let me just pull him from my satchel. You people don't understand. The Wilderking manages the entire forest. He doesn't have time for idle talk. Why do you think so many people doubt his existence? Not in person, but I don't doubt the Wilderking exists. He speaks to me in the babbling brooks and the wind in the trees. Other Bosmer petition him for an audience, but I don't need to. He already tells me everything I need to know. I could tell you, but how do I know you're trustworthy? You ask us to share your enemies, but will you share ours? The wood orcs are a plague we can't seem to be rid of. If you help us drive them off, I'll tell you what you want to know. Lurchers. Take seeds from the shimmering tree in the village and plant them in the orcs' camp. In a few minutes, they'll sprout out with a vengeance. The orc chieftain won't surrender so easily, though. Just kill him. Leave the rest to the lurchers. Don't bother coming back here until you've run off the orcs. I've got important business to attend to. Heh. They're gifts from the Wilderking, embodiments of the raw energy of the forest. They protect the village. They're not so smart. We can't lead them against the orcs, but if they sprout straight into the orcs' camp, they'll know what to do. Well, if you plant them in some peat, they sprout into a flower, and then after some time, the flower grows into a lurcher. If you want more than that, you can ask the Wilderking himself, when you get that audience.
Was the tree thane as rude to you as she was to me? All I asked was how one might get an audience with the Wilderking, but the way she reacted, you would have thought I was trying to slaughter her children. Did she treat you any differently? She did? That's funny, because Under and I offered to drive the orcs away and she turned us down. I don't know, I'm beginning to suspect this is some elaborate Bosmer trick and the whole village is laughing at us when we're not looking. I didn't say that. There is definitely a distinctive magical force in this part of Valenwood, but I fail to understand by what logic the tree thane decides who gets an audience with the Wilderking and who gets turned away. Oh, I'm Aranias. Maybe you've read my book, Spriggans in the Green, Story and Myth in Primitive Bosmer Society? Probably not, I guess. Anyhow, Under and I came in a scholarly pursuit to see if this Wilderking is really as powerful as they say. We'll just have to venture deeper into the forest on our own. We'll probably get lost and suffer a slow and painful death, but that's the risk we have to take. If you're going after the wood orcs, though, I know something that might make it easier. If you want, you can take the essence from the calope tree and rub it all over your body to cloak yourself in a haze of forest moths. The wood orcs won't even see you. Oh, one more thing. Under scouted out the orcs' camp pretty extensively. He might have some useful observations if you ask. Good luck with the wood orcs and that tricky tree thane. Maybe we'll meet again when we find the Wilderking. Me? I was born and raised in the Somerset Isles on a rather small island known as Silitar. It's a pretty secluded place. Growing up there was what first sparked my interest in studying nature magic. But, well, it was very lonely. Of course not. He's mainly here, acting as my guardian. They warned us that this place was dangerous, and if the Wilderking is really as unpredictable as people say, well, never hurts to be prepared. There seem to be a lot more rumors than any real facts. Some say he's a man. Others say he's a spirit, an embodiment of the forest. What I find most fascinating, though, is the rumor that he actually shapes the entire forest. That's just incredible.
I spent several hours watching the wood orcs and evaluating their weaknesses. As a whole, their strength is in numbers. As long as you don't take on the entire camp, you should be fine. The chieftain's the one you have to watch out for. By the look of his scars, he's seen his share of battle, and he knows how to take a beating. Don't expect him to go down quickly. There's a shaman who's never far from his side as well. I'd focus on killing the shaman first. Good luck.
My scouts came back singing your praises. They said the wood orcs broke quickly after you killed Chieftain Thragdosh and unleashed the Guardians. I wasn't exactly expecting you to succeed. Seems there's more to you than meets the eye. And you're worried I won't hold up my end of the bargain? No, I keep my promises. You got rid of those parasitic orcs. You've earned the right to petition the Wilderking for an audience. I hope I haven't given you a sense of false hope, though. Bosmer around here petition the Wilderking for an audience all the time, and he rarely responds. More than likely, you're simply wasting your time. Suit yourself. Just south of my home, you'll find the petitioning stone. Just touch it. Probably nothing will happen. If he wants to speak with you, though, he'll appear when you touch that stone. I never said it was complicated. Besides, by scaring off those wood orcs, you just might have improved your chances. The Wilderking sees these things, you know. All right, run along now, and may the forest part to reveal your path.
Welcome to my court, outsider. Since you entered my domain, I have watched your actions with keen interest. You have been generous with my people and more patient than I expected. But I still cannot gather one thing. Why have you come? Again, not what I expected. I think I've heard of this Aldmeri Dominion, but I don't see how inclusion in this group would appeal to me or to the people in my domain. Aligning with you would only alienate us from others. Interesting. You think we have common enemies? My only enemies are those who would seek to harm Valenwood. Let us test your theory, though. Show me one of these enemies of whom you speak, so I might better understand. Use the other stone pillar, the one on the platform behind us. Touch that stone pillar and an apparition will appear. One of your enemies, as you say. Fight this enemy so that I might see its true nature. I am pleased to be able to lend you strength to face this enemy from your past.
Strike us down, but the veiled heritance will always rise again.
I sense the darkness in the heart of the one you fought, but he has already been defeated, has he not? And those like him, they may not all share his darkness. You should have me call these people enemies, though. The Veiled Heritance. Yes, I am familiar with this distinction as well. There is one among this group who has come to Valenwood to see me, and I find her curious. Very curious. I'm not inclined to consider her an enemy. She is one who has been blessed with fascinating gifts. Gifts I cannot afford to ignore. You would know her identity, though. I was able to capture one of her memories. Touch the stone again, and I will share it with you.
We have much need of someone like you, Ananias.
Yes, young one. We have a problem in the Valenwood that will require your talents specifically.
I would be honored to help however I can.
Opportunity has arisen to strike a devastating blow to the Dominion, to divide the Bosmer.
The Bosmer in Greenshade claim allegiance not to King Camoran, but to a man they call the Wilderking.
Killing this Wilderking will drive the Bosmer mad. He is very elusive, though, so I will need your help to find him.
You realize we are entrusting you with an important task, I hope, my dear.
Of course, Lady Estrie, you can count on me.
As you've just seen, the young girl Aranias is associated with the Veiled Heritance. Until I know more about her, I hesitate to call her an enemy. I will have more insight soon, though. Even now, Aranias is on her way to my throne. So she believes. But there may be a greater truth to her purpose here. You may not like this, but I sense the same is true of you. Like the branches of a grat oak, I believe that Aranias' destiny, my destiny, and your destiny are all intertwined. I cannot yet see how these events will play out, but I do know that like Aranias, you must come deeper into the forest. You must eventually come to my throne, but not yet. Each of us is a strand to be spun into the story of Valenwood. You should seek out the spinner, Marrowan. He can tell us how this story began and where it should end. Yes, traveling through Valenwood is a funny thing. It may take them many days to find the path to my throne. You have all the time you need. Find the spinner's cottage and speak to Marrowan. Safe journeys, my friend.